Welcome back to In La Cocina, in the kitchen. I'm your host, Mike Gonzalez. We are back in the cookwithus.com kitchen. We hope you are having a great summer. We've got another one in our Light Latin series. It's an awesome dish by Lynn and Frank Wiedemann. It's a Baja fish taco, straight from Baja, Mexico. It's going to be healthy. It's going to be tasty. We know you're going to love it. We've got cod. That's the fish that we're going to use. A lot of people like to use halibut. They like to use snapper. Anyhow that you choose, it's going to be great. Let's take a look at what's in the ingredients. Here's the main ingredients: a pound of fresh white fish, 3 cloves of garlic minced, half cup of lime juice, half cup of finely crushed corn chips, half cup of masa, a teaspoon of sea salt, half teaspoon of pepper, half cup of corn or peanut oil, 2 egg whites beaten stiff, and 16 corn tortillas. We are going to start by marinating our fish with a half a lime, and it's not rocket science. What you're going to do is cut yourself a half a lime, squeeze it on top of your cod or your snapper, whatever you choose to use, and then we're going to throw our garlic on top of it. And the thing about this is you want to marinate it for about 10 minutes. You don't want to marinate it too long. You don't want to over-marinate it because actually it'll wind up cooking your fish, sort of like ceviche, if you're familiar with that. Okay, we're going to prepare our cabbage now for our fish taco, and this is the part that really gives that fish taco the crunchy feel. We've got our green and red cabbage, we've got our cebollo rojos, our red onions, our jalapenos, our radishes, and this is all like a garden fresh taste. So you know there's a lot of healthy things in here. We've got our olive oil, sugar, which is really going to bring out the taste. That azúcar just makes it all taste so good. Our little bit of apple cider vinegar, and we've got our crema here, which we're going to tell you a little bit more about. It's a kind of a mayo base, and it's really good. And we're not going to tell you about the ingredients, but if you want them all, you can go to HispanicFoodNetwork.com. Just go to the Cook With Us tab, and that crema recipe will be on the website. Okay, it's time to make our cabbage slaw for our fish tacos, and this is really what gives it that crunchy feel and what so many people love about it, because you know, I love anything with a crunch because it's just that texture that really attracts you to it. Onions, your radishes, and your jalapeno, a little handful of cilantro. You don't want to use too much of that. Sugar. So then you're going to use about 1 tablespoon of apple cider. Might have been a little bit too much. Then I tong it. All right. Okay, now it's time to create our batter, and we've got our ingredients here. We've got our whipped egg whites, we've got our masa, and the masa is the same stuff that you make tamales with, and they come in this prepackaged bag, and that's what gives it that Mexican feel. Then we've got our corn chips that we've beaten up a little bit. I'm going to show you how to do it man style. You can either do it in a Cuisinart, or if you get yourself a big old hammer like this, it's pretty simple. This is fun. This is what you let your 6-year-old do. Look at that. Oh, man. All you cavemen in the kitchen, you can use your mallet and your hammer. So there you go. Easy as that. All you need is a Ziploc bag just like that. And that's the funnest part. Okay, now we're going to get our fish going. We're going to dip it in our egg white batter. And this is sort of the messy part of the job, but it's kind of fun in a way too. This is a good way to get your kids involved too, because they'd love to help you out in something like this. I know my kids would. This is what's going to give it that crispy feel. Just keep going. And again, we're using our cod. And it's a nice light fish with good flavor. The thing about cod, it's got a lot of protein, not much fat for you folks out there that are watching your diet. And for the most part, you know, This fish taco has a lot of healthy things in it. You're going to get plenty of protein. And the thing about eating, I love to eat, but I also love to work out. The thing about it, folks, is get off your couch and do some exercise, because that's the main thing. You got to move around. That's the key. That's sort of the element that I use, is to move around and then eat, because then you don't feel so guilty. Now it is time to fry our fish, and if you want to, if you're super health conscious, you can actually bake your fish. Just, brush it with a little bit of the canola oil that we're about to fry the fish in, and you put it in a really hot oven. We suggest here at Cook With Us about 500 degrees, and you can bake it or fry it. I like to fry it because it's going to bring out a little bit of that taste, and then I just have to do a little bit longer on the treadmill. Because, this world is about guilt, and I'm Catholic, so I'm guilt-ridden. So it's sort of along those lines. Okay, so we're going to throw it into our pan. And the thing about this, we've got cod, which is somewhat thin, and it's kind of a feel thing. So it's not an exact science. It's a couple of minutes. And you can load up your pan pretty good. And you're going to cook them for about, a couple minutes on each side. These are relatively thin. So you can shake, and to get them all in there, you can shake your pan to make room for them. And again, this is kind of a feel process. You want to keep a close eye on it, because if you cook them for too short of a length, you're going to end up with soggy fish. You cook them too long, it's going to turn into a burnt fish, and you don't want that. Okay, now our fish are cooked. What we're going to do is we're going to put them on some paper towels and blot them just a little bit. And what this is going to do, it's going to take some of that oil off of there, just some of that excess oil. And in the meantime, what we've been doing, we've got our oven on warm, and we're going to take these fish, and while we're frying our tortillas, we're going to put them in there, and that's going to keep them warm. Okay, we're ready to heat our tortillas, and the key point here is that you are heating them. You're not really frying them, because in our pan, there's no oil. What we're doing is we're placing them into the pan, and you're watching them until they bubble. So once it gets to that point that they bubble a little bit, that's when you can turn them. And you can see this one, I'm going to point to it with my tongue. You see how it's bubbling right there? At that point, you're ready to turn them. And again, you're heating these up. And that's really heart healthy, because we don't have all that oil, although we are using canola oil, which no cholesterol and no saturated fats. And once you've got them heated up, what you're going to do is you're going to place them in a little basket, and make sure that you've got something to cover them, because what that's going to do is going to create a steaming process, and that's going to just make them so soft and good. You cover them up, they're going to stay hot and warm, and by the time you get them out of this little blanket here, it'll be awesome. All right, our favorite part. It is time to eat. So we've got our cooked fish. We're ready to make these fish tacos. We got some good food, some great friends, our tortillas. I think I'm ready to take off this apron. One more process. We're ready to eat. You guys have already taken a bite. No fair. Ready? All right, provecho!